We are live from San Diego. What's going on, everybody? Rob the Warrior Strategist coming at you on this lovely Monday afternoon. I hope you guys are doing okay. As far as Mondays go, this was actually a pretty good one. Got a lot done today. Reached out to some people and created a bunch of content, put out my newsletter, which will be coming out to you tomorrow. And today, I wanted to come out strong. I wanted to teach you guys some really, really valuable stuff that will help you to generate income on another level. I'm going to tell you guys some case studies. I'm going to give you guys some very strong tips. And I'm definitely going to share some client level stuff with you. And then I'm going to release this training on my YouTube channel, distribute it again. But ultimately, I want to kind of just remind you guys about the power of selling ebooks and how it can be a wonderful income stream if you are, creating your own income sources like a lot of us have been forced to lately. And we already got some heavy hitters here tonight. We got Jess Yarbrough, Joe Nicasio. Both of you guys are going to love this training and could definitely benefit from it with the wealth of knowledge you guys both have in your industries. Gloria Madrano, what's going on, Gloria? Hopefully you're holding up and doing well in these interesting times that we're dealing with. So what we're going to talk about tonight is I'm going to talk about some ebooks that I wrote and then the results I had for each one, and then some mindset stuff when writing ebooks, and then I'm going to give you guys the entire ebook training for free as far as pricing, as far as an actual strategic plan for getting it to market, and then my own technique for breaking $1,000 consecutively the last 3 ebooks I've written. And I'm going to just tell you guys exactly how to do it because I feel like this is a very specialized art form. Not everyone knows how to do it. And I want to encourage you guys to get out there and to start making these things and to help people with them. Writing ebooks has changed my life. Creating, being an online educator and an instructor has changed my life. And I love the fact that I have a global audience and I can solve people's problems and create something that really helps them in business. What's going on, Tammy and Nick? Nick, you're going to love this, man. This is going to be awesome. This is going right in Design Your Paycheck tomorrow. Lonnie Rostifer, hello. Okay, so let's just talk about it, guys. First of all, let's start with my own journey, right? And I knew I wanted to do business stuff. I knew I wanted to create ebooks and eventually courses and give trainings and be an entrepreneur and not have a boss and all that good stuff. And so I learned the general process. And so right off the bat, hey, what's going on, Trish? Right off the bat, the general process is there are a lot of sites you can use to make ebooks. The easiest one that I've found is canva.com, canva.com. I'll even type you guys out a link. Boom, canva.com. And so I wrote a couple of early stage ebooks. The covers were god awful, primary colors and some clip art and some not very inspiring covers. Pretty much the ugliest things you've ever seen. And what a shocker. I had 0 sales every time I'd release one. And I came at it with an attitude of overconfidence, a little bit of arrogance, like, oh, I have graduate degrees. People are going to flock to my stuff and blah, blah, blah. And no, that's not how it works at all. And it took a while before I started selling. And so what's up, Chris Jones? Good to see you, man. Okay. And so as I got better at Canva, my design work improved, okay? My cover art improved. And eventually the first ebook I wrote that really had some momentum was called The Profitable Entrepreneur. And I sold it for like $47. I got a lot of bad advice right off the bat. And I'm going to tell you guys something. When you are an entrepreneur or you're getting into ebook stuff, you're going to get terrible advice from people that you need to ignore. And right off the bat, I mean, people are going to tell you everything from your pricing, from the length of how long your ebook should be, your subjects are stupid, just the whole 9 yards. And my first piece of advice to you is if somebody hasn't written an ebook or, made sales, you don't have to listen to them. Tell them to keep their opinions to themselves because they are not in a place to give you advice regardless. So just my tip right off the bat. So Profitable Entrepreneur sold $1,000 worth in 7 days. Got very good reviews for the content within. I made it in 1 day, and I only sold it to my Facebook group, and at the time it had 126 members. So all I did was get on a lot of calls with people, and I isolated what problems it would solve and who it would benefit, all that good stuff. So the next ebook I wrote was called Cover a Night, and it was on launches, business launches, how to launch ebooks and courses. And so I ended up, I ended up breaking $1,000 with Cover a Night. It was priced a little higher, but it was my first attempt at a bundle where I would sell a call plus an ebook, so I raised the price a bit. And that one got over $1,000 in sales. And then the last one I did, you guys know about, is the Veteran Entrepreneur. And the Vet Entrepreneur was not super fancy. That's the cover of it right there. And it just taught business strategies to veterans. So it taught how to maximize a Google search organically, right? It taught how to do Facebook Lives. It taught how to do Facebook posts, what a $10,000 a month business looks like, things like that, just basic business strategies. But it was my first real successful product. I broke about $3,500 in sales, maybe $4,000 roughly. But you can see the cover right here. Like, it wasn't super, I designed it myself. It wasn't super crazy as far as cover design, but it was definitely useful. A lot of people loved it. Everybody that bought it said it really helped them out with a lot of stuff. So point being, believe in your projects. We're going to get to that. So we're going to get to a couple of mindset things. We've got Jacqueline Paxton popping on. What's going on, Jacqueline? So I'm going to go over a couple of rules real quick, and then I'm going to teach technique. I'm not going to keep you guys super long. I would advise that you either save this or take notes, though, because I'm going to show you guys some really specific stuff, client level, okay? Tonight I'm bringing the heat. I'm just warning you right now. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. There is no, like, stupid stuff leading to a checklist or leading to an opt-in or anything like that. Like, I'm going to literally give you guys a technique. I want you guys to start making some money. I mean, it's the least I can do to show my gratitude for you guys. So the first mindset concept that you have to adopt is to sell a solution and not a product. My early stage ebooks they were sales minded. They weren't impact minded. And that was my problem. And so what you have to do, you have to find a problem that's going on in your audience, right? So right now, what's going on? A lot of people in restaurants and service industries don't have jobs. Everyone's doing distance learning. There's a ton of jobs that are still hiring. So these are all worldly factors you can make an ebook on. So just a thought. And so Dudek says, if I did a new ebook, what would you want to see? I'll tell you what, Mark. Honestly, if I was going to write an ebook, a really popular one, I would make a resource guide of every industry and every company that's still hiring. Okay, because they're hiring a ton of online teachers for like $40 an hour. They're hiring a bunch of like delivery drivers. Amazon's still hiring. So make an ebook called Open Industries in the COVID-19 economy, something like that, or coronavirus, how to find work despite it, something. You get the gist of what I'm talking about, though, and that'd be a high demand ebook because people want to find jobs quickly. There you go. So it'd be a resource guide. So you're selling a solution. What's the problem? The problem's unemployment. What's the solution? A resource guide that has this big list of all these industries and companies that will immediately hire you. Boom. All right. The next thing is price to value. And so when you're releasing an ebook, there's always questions about price. And I've had some people get real red in the face trying to convince me that I need to sell ebooks for $2.99 because that's all people are going to pay for. Not true. Sorry. Price to value. And so what I mean by that is you don't want to price gouge, but you want to create an amazing offer that obviously is worth what people are shelling out for it. So I took a chance on the veteran entrepreneur because I believed in it and the level of content that it had in it. And this guy was $197, right? And I made a print run of like 20 or 30 of them. I sold every single one except for this. This is my last copy, and it was $197. So it's price to value. And so a few things will affect your pricing, okay? The rarity of the information, how technical it is, the qualifications of whoever's writing it. Okay, so if Gary Vee releases a book, or Tony Robbins, or the late Kobe Bryant, somebody, and they have like years of experience, or they're very famous, or all this stuff, their stuff can cost more because they have their brand name behind them. And so you'll need to learn to price according to the value someone is going to get from the purchase. So just something to think about. And we can talk more about pricing later. Feel free to message me if you have questions. Okay, so number 3 is to do your market research first. And so what you do is you take a poll, or you can hire my friend Sarah Cruz, who is really good at writing market research reports. I've seen her work. Sarah Cruz is unbelievable at market research. So if you want to do a serious study and find out like what the demand is for whatever it is you're going to write about, or what hot topics people are Googling, or who's most likely to buy your ebook, so that you can keyword search them later when you do Facebook ads, targeted ads. Sarah Cruz, reach out to her. She's very, very good at what she does. All right. And then number 4, have confidence in your project. And this is a big one, because too many times a lot of us will talk ourselves out of doing these projects. We make dumb excuses in our head. I'm not famous. Nobody will ever see this. Nobody's going to buy it. I don't have the skills to create this. We can make 1,000 excuses. And that's fine. But guess what? Excuses don't pay your rent. And so I encourage you guys to have confidence in your project, really believe in what you're going to do, and get this damn thing to market. Okay? I've never hesitated to release something that I felt created value for people. And that's why every time I write an ebook, I break the sales record every single time. And then I wrote the ultimate ebook on a large scale, a full magazine. And every single magazine for the last like 3 issues, I broke $2,000 in ad revenue and paid features. So it's just building your audience, having confidence in what you're doing, and not writing dumb excuses in your head to talk yourselves out of what you need to do. Gina Elise just popped on. Gina, I really liked your email, the last couple that you've sent out to your list and your videos. Congratulations on what you're doing. If you guys don't know Gina Elise, she is running an amazing company. I've met her once. I bought a flask off her, and I really just dig the pinup calendars and all the merchandise and fun stuff that she's doing. Be sure and drop her a friend request, and she's doing a lot for our troops, especially overseas and in hospitals. So God bless you, Gina. You're a wonderful person. Huge shout out. And we got Megan Fenoy, Bradley, and Joe. What's going on, guys? Good to see you. And so Tammy says she's struggling with this mindset around her podcast. I understand, Tammy, and it's I had this mindset as well for the first issues of Shift Magazine, and you just have to keep pushing through, and you have to strongly believe in what you're doing, because at the end of the day, it's not about what you think; it's about what you're contributing to your audience, okay, and who you're serving. All right, so I'm going to take these down, and now we're going to get to the strategic lesson part of this, where I'm going to show you guys the exact techniques that I use every time. And the very first thing I'm going to tell you before I get into techniques is that the most important part, guys, is having a connected audience. Because if you're coming to me and you're saying, "Hey, Rob, I want to do an ebook, but I have like 400 Facebook friends, then you need to spend some time growing your audience and connecting with people. And Nick says, what about a press kit for our podcasts? Nick, that's like a 10-minute conversation. We'll have that offline. I'll address it to you right after I finish up with this. All right, but that's a good question. Okay, so the first thing to understand, guys, is that if you have a small audience, you're not going to have a ton of sales. You're just not. It's a percentage game. You need to have access to a good amount of people. You need to make sure that you're across a couple different social media platforms. Once I got over 3,000 Facebook friends, I started to see traction, sales. But step 2 was connecting with them. And it was much more important to connect with them, because I'll tell you this, guys, if you have even 50 people and you're connected with them, that's much better than having 3,000 that you've never talked to. And it's going to affect your sales. Connection equals sales. And I'll tell you that before I even jump into any of these theories, okay? So make sure you're taking time to get to know your audience. You guys can see that I can have conversations with a lot of people watching this. I know what they do. I've taken the time to get to know them and what they need, and that's part of the game. All right, so the first thing to do is to obviously write your ebook using canva.com, canva.com, and have a purchase page. And what you want to do is have a couple of upsell offers. So our goal, and the first lesson I'm going to give you guys is pricing. Our goal is to sell $1,000 or more from your ebook, okay? And so pricing, nobody ever really breaks down the numbers, but this is what it looks like. So we're just going to go from part to part here. But what you want to have is a couple of bundle offers available, because if you look at the pricing, a $47 ebook, you'd have to sell about 20 of them to get around $1,000, a little bit under, okay? A $97 ebook, you'd only have to sell 10, and so this is where your first bundle comes in. Your bundle is your ebook and then possibly a print copy, and you can do print copies off lulu.com, Lulu.com, and have it shipped right to the person as they buy it. And then another option is to price it at $197, and you only have to sell 5 of them, and that can be an ebook, a call with you, a video series that is also in the subject but has like really, really good content, and then possibly that print copy as well. So this is the first important lesson, guys, is to have a bundle pack and upsells available. And your ebook at its core, if somebody just wants the ebook, $47 minimum. Selling 20 of them is not difficult. So once you get this upsell option, I mean, if you sell 2 of these, you know, there's $400 right there. You only have 600 left. So create some type of a bundle that gives people 3 options to buy at different price points. So that's the first thing, because a few people are going to want the extra help. They are going to want the call with you. They are going to want a print copy. And so the biggest success that I had with the veteran entrepreneur when I put it out, it was $197, and they got the digital copy instantly. They had a printed copy sent to them, and then they had a call with me for 30 minutes, a really good business call. And so all 3 of those things made it a good value, because to get on a consulting call with me is $750. And so to be able to get 30 minutes with me and then get the ebook and then get the printed copy, you know, they were saving a ton of money. So it was a great deal for everybody. Once you have your bundle pack, okay, you've got your pricing tiers. You pop these on your sale page. Now, what you want to do to build up an audience and build up a couple of sources of broadcast is you'll want to create a checklist and a freebie in whatever it is, whatever industry or topic that you're creating. And you're going to want to give this out periodically over a couple weeks before you launch your ebook. And keep going until you get opt-ins of an email list of about 100 people. So that's your start. An email list shouldn't be just for you to sell stuff. You want to create like a weekly newsletter or a couple emails a week and just give some information in your industry, or just a funny video, or just something. And then eventually, you know, once in a while you can pitch, but you have to create value. And so I released an ebook earlier this week about creating a $3,500 at home business. And I released this like 3 days ago, and I've already had something like 70 downloads. And it's just a free, ebook about teaching how to get to $3,500 a month using some of these techniques. And I put it out everywhere. And so guess what? Now there's 70 new emails I can add to my email list. So it's a good technique. And I did that in 3 days. So like I said, create a checklist, create a freebie, also on canva.com, just basic information in the industry or the topic that you're writing your ebook on. And then just keep giving it out until you have your email list of 100 people. Okay. So your bundles are done, your pricing's set up, you got your little sale page, and sale pages are easy to do. The next thing you want to do is you want to do your pre-launch, and you want to have 10 slots open. And I know a lot of people will say, well, why have limited slots? It's a digital product. You can sell tons of them, right? And I say yes, but here's the deal. You want to give people an urgent reason to buy where you create so much freaking value for them that they would feel like an idiot not to buy. And this is where you're going to have to step up your A game. At this price point, because we're not trying to like price something crazy. So it doesn't really benefit us to discount it, right? Because we have a specific numerical goal in mind. But what we can do is offer 2 or 3 bonuses to where whoever those first 10 people are for those 10 slots, they're going to get the deal of a lifetime. You give them a window of like 3 days, 4 days. And then you have this pre-launch period where you just tell your audience, you put it out over your email list, you put it out in a YouTube video, maybe you write an article on LinkedIn like I did today, put it out on Facebook, and then put it out on Instagram if you have it. And that should get you at least, if you have a small to medium audience, you should get at least 5 sales, even at the lowest price point of $47, okay? Even 5 sales is a great start. So once that happens, the 5 days are off, or the 5 days go by, you take away the bonuses, and then you do regular launch. Regular launch is just these guys, whatever your bundles are, and then you go crazy, okay? Facebook Live, Facebook post, open-ended questions on your Facebook, a LinkedIn article, an email blast, a YouTube video about it, and then repurpose that YouTube video, put it out on LinkedIn. Facebook groups, give a guest training. So if you know somebody in that industry or in general business, do some type of free training and then have your offer at the bottom. Hey, if you want to know more, you can check out my ebook, blah, blah, blah. But the point is, give a blast across everything to where you can maximize your sales. And so by doing this, you're going to greatly increase the chances of somebody reaching out to you in a call or just buying from your link, whatever. And so by doing this, even with a small to medium audience, with a pre-launch and then a regular launch, you should be able to get $1,000 or more just from your organic stuff, just from doing this. Now, if you have a budget, you can absolutely boost your posts. You can absolutely take out Facebook ads and target people in the industry. Okay, so Josh Centers just popped on. Clicks on Command. One of his businesses is that he helps chiropractors to sell a bunch of extra services on demand. And so what he would do is he would release an ebook and he would just word search chiropractors in a Facebook ad. Boom. And then you'd have maximum viewage. Understand targeted word searches are very powerful if you're trying to get a certain type of consumer. So that's something to think about. Now, here's some other questions that people give me about ebooks. So one thing that people tell me is, hey, Rob, I'm not really in an industry. I'm not really in a niche. I don't really have a skill set. But I want to write an ebook. Like I want to do something. And so what I tell them, and this sounds weird, but I swear to God it works. I tell them interview famous people and then sell ad space. Now, what if you were to just get Zoom for free, interview a bunch of people, keep the interviews, write a crazy ebook with like 12 of the most powerful people you can find, okay? And then release that ebook as a business strategy guide. and just find 12 people that fall under the umbrella of a certain industry. Maybe it's finance, maybe it's real estate, maybe it's just business or entrepreneurship. The more you can niche down, the better, to be honest with you. Or maybe the first 12 experts you need in business. So a branding expert like Desislava Dobriva, a performance coach like Chris Burns, a Facebook ads expert like Laurel Porty. There's a lot of people that you can get to put together this master ebook, and then you can just pop that out. No, guess what? You got a link in every page to a different professional interview, and then a link to buy their stuff. So now the celebrities are super excited. The experts are super excited because they get promoted in this ebook that you're selling. Okay? So that's one very, very valuable tip, guys, is that if you don't have a skill set or you don't have an industry or you don't feel competent enough to really instruct people in it, interview famous people. Okay? You guys know I have a magazine. 4 years ago, I started a digital magazine and I started just interviewing people like crazy. And now every time it comes out, I break $2,000 in ad revenue and features, right? And that comes because I have a good audience and because I can promote them and do a bunch of stuff and behind the scenes and help them. So creating a media platform or creating an ebook full of celebrity interviews is a great way to go, especially if you're not sure what to do. Make yourself a media personality. Start doing Facebook Lives and then just advertise your stuff. But hopefully this will encourage you guys to create your own ebooks. I'm actually making a new one for Design Your Paycheck. And I'm super excited about it. And my goal is to break, I don't know, I haven't even thought about what the goal is going to be, but it's, at least 2,000. And I'm actually going to put some thought into how to do this. But remember, guys, this is an option that's available to all of us. You don't have to have a particular skill set. You don't have to be tech savvy to make an ebook. It's easy. It's free. And once you get the technique down, you'll be able to just crank them out over and over again, solving different problems and growing your audience and growing your credibility. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you want to learn how to do courses and ebooks and events and media platforms, all this stuff, consider checking out Design Your Paycheck. We had a pretty good influx of people signing up and joining, and I've been teaching coursework this week. But honestly, like tonight, I just want to teach you guys about ebooks and just how every one of you should write at least one just to learn the process. Even if it's not to make a ton of money, just to get it done, to be an ebook author, do it. It's not very difficult. All right, guys. Thank you so much. If you have any questions about creating ebooks or strategy stuff or just, hey, Rob, how can I do this? Feel free to message me. I'm always here for you guys. Thank you so much for checking out my content. If you like this, feel free to tag someone that could use it or share it. I always love teaching this stuff and just showing you guys clever ways to capitalize on how brilliant you really are. All right. Have a great night, guys. This is Rob the Warrior Strategist signing off, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.